Good evening. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to my garden kitchen with my beta fish who's going to get excited right now. He loves it when I feed him. Yeah. So today is going to be a very good day. We're going to make beef zucchini rice. There it is. He got it. He got it. He got his little pellet, his little beta fish food. They're little teeny pellets. They're really kind of cute. All right, so we're going to be looking at the food. I picked some garden herbs up. I've got some chives and some oregano and some cilantro. So it's going to be a kind of an interesting flavored rice dish. We're going to be doing this for $4. So I managed to find 85% lean. I don't know, maybe it's 75%, but it's beef for $1.99 a pound. That's just right under a pound. We've got the beef there. Got two zucchinis for about $1. So we're at $3. And all these vegetables right here, including this can of tomato sauce, comes to another $1. An onion's like 20 cents, carrots are 10 cents each, celery is about 20 cents. This little guy is 33 cents at Walmart. Yeah. And I think we're there. I happen to have some Parmesan cheese. You can use the powdered kind. I have to use some of this up, so I'm going to be adding this to the rice dish. I've got a little hot sauce that I picked up for 25 cents a bottle. So I'm using this peri peri sauce. We got water. And if you don't have any vegetables, I want to show you guys a little trick on how I do this. You see this? This is a seaweed, and it's rehydrated. See that? It's seaweed from endami or wakame. And these things are little small dried wakame that I picked up before Fukushima, right around 2010. And you can rehydrate that and put that in your dish. Pretty good. I keep a little ginger around just to munch on ginger. Sometimes I like to, it's like a lozenge. I'm going to make this camera get a little bit more dark. Yeah, it's pretty good tomato sauce. And when you get to tomato sauce, get the no salt tomato sauce. They say chewing on ginger will prevent cancer. That's what they say. I don't know. Drinking coffee prevents cancer too. Okay, let's get started. You know the drill. Okay, we're going to start the pan off with level 3. Or no, actually, I'm going to go to level 4. And I put some oil in here. And I'm going to be cooking in a rice dish today. These rices are really great. It's had a lot of wear and tear, as you can see. You want to put olive oil or something good, like peanut oil or something. I prefer olive oil. Don't use corn oil because it's GMO. And don't use canola oil. That's just not a good idea. Many people are concerned about the canola crops that are being misrepresented as non-GMO. Okay, I'm going to take the back end off this celery. As you can see, I'm reaching the end of the rope with the celery, so this is the perfect time to cook it. I use these basic ingredients because it's let me get this back over here. There we go. Because it's a very affordable way to cook. And carrots and onions and celery are very, very cheap. I'm going to peel this off here. I think I spit my ginger out. It's not in the dinner, though. Okay. These are organic carrots, and the onion's organic, but the zucchini and the celery are not organic. I don't know what they are. But I rinse them off very nicely. Okay. Okay. Okay, zucchini we'll hold off for later. Right now we're going to do the onion. Whoa. With the skin on, you just cut it right in half and then take the bottom off, leaving most of the onion. You kind of use most of that onion. You don't want to waste it. Thank you for not allowing guests to troll me. All right. No, Sarah likes to eat my food. She's very happy with my food. She's not displeased. But she's trying to stay away from carbohydrates. She knows that carbohydrates are not good for her. So a rice dish is kind of a low carbohydrate dish. Okay, I'm going to cut up 1/2 of an onion. All right. And I'm going to put 1/2 of an onion in the ricer. And I'm going to plug that in. Okay. Let me get a shot of that. I'm going to put the carrots, I'm going to dice the carrots and put those inside the ricer too. Leaving the 1/2 an onion on the side for the meat. And you have to pre-cook this meat, so always cut away from your fingers. Don't cut onto your fingers, whatever you do. Okay, these are going to be 1/4-inch chunks because that ricer will cook them up fairly nicely. What's great about this this knife is it's a French curl. We've talked about this before. It has a curled edge. You see? So when you put it down, it kind of rocks. It's really nice. Okay. Ricer there. Those herbs that I was showing you, I want to put those 1/2 and 1/2 in both dishes. So I'm going to kind of just dice them all up together. Nice and tight. We've got chives. Now you can replace this with Italian seasoning, and I'm going to do that too. I've got some really good Italian seasoning here. Hang on. Yeah, that'll work. You want to put Italian seasoning down at the base of your ricer back here. So give it a couple shakes like that. You can throw a little Italian seasoning in your pan too. That's going to go with your meat. It's getting hot. I've got a little more carrot to put in there. And my celery. The celery I'm going to cook 1/2 and 1/2, just like the onion. But the carrot, I'm going to put the whole carrot in the ricer. That's going in right now. You don't want to put the tips in there. Okay, so I'm going to take some of these herbs right here, these fresh herbs, and put them on the ricer back here. I'm going to take this onion right here, this other 1/2, and do a nice tight dice on this with the meat. About 1/8 of an inch. You're going to be doing a fast cook with the meat and the onion. Okay. Now there's a trick I've discovered, kind of a trick. I picked up some turkey bacon. And the turkey bacon is frozen. But I can make breakfasts with these things. It's amazing. I'm going to show you what I do. Got a plate. What I do is I cut off a piece of the turkey bacon. And it's fairly easy to cut. See that? I'm going to dice that up a little bit more. While it's frozen, mind you. Okay. I'm going to put that in with my onions. But I'm going to leave a little bit of it out and put it in the ricer. Oh, I made a mistake. I put my onions in here. I'm going to put some onions in here. Sorry. I'm borrowing from Peter to pay Paul here. I'm putting some onions down for the beef. I'm going to put a little bit of the turkey bacon in with the ricer. And these things will break up on their own when they start cooking. Now you can use more of this if you want. Doesn't matter. I mean, if the more turkey bacon, the more flavor you're going to get. But you see this thing? I get more breakfasts out of this than you could ever imagine. I just chop off little pieces and use them. Now, you could use peppers if you want. But because I have a lot of vegetables, I'm just going to go with vegetables. If you got peppers, throw these in. Okay, I'm going to throw that meat right on that hot grill. So we've got a pound of meat. And I'm going to season it in the bag. Like that. I use the bag to massage the seasoning in. It's a good way to kind of keep your hands clean. And we also have some onion powder. We're going to put some onion powder on top of it on the grill. All right, so let's throw that in the grill on the oil. And cover it with more Italian seasoning. About 3 shakes. And onion powder. You can cover that up. Let that cook. Just leave it in there for now. I'm going to press it down once it gets an oil in the base. Cool. Hold it, I got a band to take care of. There we go. Okay. All right, as you can see, I'm a pretty trim guy, and I'm enjoying this immensely. Today we have rice that is GMO-free. I'm going to be using some brown rice. That's brown rice. And we're going to be using some GMO-free white rice, sushi rice. Okay. With rice, you have a test to do now. You put water in a glass, and you put the rice in the glass just to test it out. Put it in the glass, and if it floats to the bottom, you're good. That all floated to the bottom. Let's try the brown rice. I want you to do this test on your rice because if it doesn't float to the bottom, that all floated to the bottom. If it doesn't float to the bottom, you are in trouble. It means there's plastic in your rice. Believe it or not, China has got some problems with their rice They're making plastic with starch, and I'm not kidding. Have you heard about this? Okay, I'm going to put the rice in a strainer. I use this strainer every time I make a rice dish, so I know exactly how much it fills up. I'm going to put the white at the bottom. A little bit more than half and half, more like 2/3 and 1/3. 2/3 white, 1/3 brown. The brown takes a little extra long to cook. You don't have to use brown or white. You can use wild rice. It doesn't even matter. But I'm going to rinse this off really well, because rice, because it grows in the ground in water, tends to get arsenic. So what you want to do is you want to rinse it off really well with filtered water. Arsenic is a dangerous thing. It's found commonly in rice. Isn't that nice? There you go. All right. I'm rinsing it off. I'm going to take that dripping thing and I'm going to put it in the ricer on top. Brown rice down first. I'll throw that other rice in there with the water. Okay, I didn't cut up the remainder of the celery. I'm going to take one stalk and put it in with the, or two stalks and put it in with the ricer. Because celery has natural salt, it's really good for seasoning rice. And I don't use the tops, but you can use the tops. I'm going to compost the tops. Okay, I'm going to put that right there in the with the rice. And then I'm going to season it with onion powder at the top. Okay, those already have some of the herbs in them. This meat's getting cooked here. Okay, I'm going to take this meat and start moving it around with a spatula, breaking it up. It's on a level 4 grill, so it's not cooking too fast. There's no salt in this meat right now, other than the turkey bacon at the bottom. I'm going to take the remainder of the celery. I'm going to cut it up and dice it pretty small. It's a good time to put garlic in if you've got garlic. I'm going to put that right on top of the meat. Grab some garlic. Put that in there too. All right. Anything like that, you want to cut that off. You don't want that in your dish. Okay, so this is going to dice up a little garlic in there with the meat. Nice tight dice. And we'll put the rest of the celery in there. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to add a little water to the meat. Just a little on the outside. I'm going to turn the temperature up to just level 6 or 7. Okay? I'm going to add my herbs to the meat. I'm going to try to get that temperature up really, really high. Meanwhile, I'm going to take my tomato sauce. And you can get any tomato sauce you want. I'm going to put that on top of the rice with a little bit of hot sauce. I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a little hot sauce on the top. Just about that much. Put the tomato sauce on top of that, like that. And then pour about 2 cups of water on top of your 1 cup of rice. Just completely cover it. So it's like about that far. See that? Almost to the brim. You put that in there and turn it on. Okay, we're going to start that rice up. Meanwhile, I'm going to take the rest of that and put a little water in here. And I'm going to use the rest of that with my meat. We're going to cook the meat at a really high temperature. I have not put the zucchini in yet. That's coming. That's the last thing you're going to cook. Yeah. And I always have a paper towel so I can keep my hands. Very important to have a nice clean paper towel. Don't trust your sponges. They are filthy. Don't trust your washcloths. They are filthy. There's more bacteria on your washcloth than you would even imagine. But this one little piece of paper towel is clean. Yes, zucchini at the end of the cooking. Zucchini takes very little time. And we're going to do a nice tight dice with about a 1/4 inch or larger, not too small, a 1/4 inch or larger, maybe even a 1/2 inch chunks of zucchini. And I'm going to put that right on top of the meat when it's really cooking. No, I didn't, but thanks for asking. Hey, I'm having a great time. Today I worked outside. I did a lot of my early summer planting. You know, we're in spring right now, so we want to get things going. It's a busy time here at the homestead. I was never arrested, no. Busy time during this time of year because you've got to get your soil ready for gardening. And Sarah has all these cool things that she's, raising. And she's starting gardens, at her school. So she's really enjoying that. Composting, we're really getting into that. So it's a lot of work in the spring. I don't do corn. No, I'd rather buy it. But frankly, corn is kind of a problem. You got to cook it. You can eat it raw, but I mean, you have to actually microwave it. And I don't know. It takes a long time to grow corn. I don't want to cook for anybody. I feel that people waste too much food, and if I were a chef, I would look at that and I'd get pissed off. I'd sit there and I'd start looking at these people throw away perfectly good pieces of. I've seen this happen. They'll throw away perfectly good pieces of lobster or meat. It's tragic because when I go to a buffet, I see all these people take this meat and then throw it away. But if I were cooking that, I would really feel incredibly pissed off. So I don't really want to be pissed off because I really love to cook. And unlike Chef Ramsay, who appears pissed off all the time, I have I'd say a 9 to 10 foot, 8 to 9 foot ceiling. Yeah, this is a modular home. Okay, we're reaching a point where I'm getting ready to move the meat around. It's steaming pretty hard in here. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, this meat is not what I thought it was. It's 75%. So I'm glad I put a little water in there because I'm going to take some of that water out right now with some of the gross oil that's in with the beef. Yeah, I just don't want to. So I usually take a little bowl like that for the. I'll show you how I do it. And just take this and drain out the oil. But be sure you hold the top fairly tight. You don't want the whole dish to just drop in there. Okay, drain that oil out as best you can. Because that oil is going to go in your arteries otherwise. Okay, put it back on the grill, level 6 or 7. Medium high on a gas grill. Okay, we're hoping to see if the rice cooker will cook in that time period. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a kind of an iffy thing. Well, it takes 40 minutes for the rice cooker to cook, so I put it in a little bit late. Well, I was going to call this entire dish kofifi, but beef zucchini rice is better. The idea of a kofifi, I don't know, I would go with a cod and possibly some fifi. That would be fifi. Fifi. Help me out here. Fifi. I don't know. It's got to be a starch of some sort. Kofifi. Kofefe. Fofo. Feet. I was going to say pig's feet, but that wouldn't be too, well, it would be appropriate, wouldn't it? Pig's feet beef. Cocoa vine. I think cod or chicken base would be, I'm not sure what fifi would be. Yeah. Well, the rice I added herbs, oregano from the garden, chives that I'm growing, along with some cilantro and Italian seasoning and onion powder. You can do anything you want. I put some celery, lots of carrots at the bottom of the dish. You notice how I didn't move them around? I just like layered it. That's because if you move it around, the carrots don't cook. They have to be at the bottom. They have to kind of nest in it, on top of the oil. But the steam fryer takes half the time of cooking rice. Normally rice is like an hour on the stove. This is about 35, 40 minutes. And the ricers are okay. The only drawback is they're aluminum, most of them. I've never seen a stainless steel ricer. But when the dish is cooked, you just pop it out of the aluminum and you hope for the best. I'm growing some a little bit of rosemary, not basil though. Oregano, basil doesn't grow well in this area. We get a lot of overcast and it's really kind of rainy. Basil tends to rot. You have to really take care of basil. But I grow cilantro and lots of parsley. I'm growing massive amounts of parsley in the front of the house. And I'm getting ready to move my garlic. And what I've been doing is I'm going to be planting garlic all around the house. So, exactly, aluminum gives you dimension. So they say. But I'm going to be planting garlic all around the house, and it's a natural deterrent against ants. And we have a kind of a carpenter ant thing in this area. And I use non-toxic passive traps, which are not, open traps. There are definitely pesticides, just in key areas to deal with them. But I don't touch the pesticide. They're really cool. They're passive traps. You put them in discrete areas around the house. But I noticed that really living garlic is what really keeps the ants away. Yeah, it keeps carpenter ants away like no other. So we decided we got all this garlic in the garden. And I was telling Sarah, where am I going to get garlic starters? And I was like, duh, I've got them in the garden. They're all over the place. So I'm going to move the garlic in their entire chunks. I'm going to move them over to the front of the house. If I break them up, they're going to dry out in the summer. So I'm going to keep them in their chunks and put manure around them, pack them down, make sure they're nice and moist, but they're going to get real dry in the summer. And garlic's great for water resistance. Whenever there's a drought, garlic grows fairly well. So they hold their water in the bulb. So none of these are canned ingredients except for the tomato sauce, and that's from California. Non-salted tomato sauce. The only thing of any salt really is that turkey bacon I put at the bottom of the rice dish. I cook with turkey bacon. At the bottom of the meat dish is turkey bacon. Okay, we're all set to put the zucchini in. So what I'm going to do is chop the zucchini up, because this is ready to go. This meat is already done. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Okay, take the rest of your water, about an eighth of a cup, and put it in with the meat. Drop your temperature down to 3. Take your zucchini, like that, cut them in half, And what you're shooting for is about 1/4 to 1/2 inch chunks. This would be a good size. That meat is already done, and I'm just going to put the zucchini in with the meat right now. Put it in fairly quickly. And I'm going to add a little of that tomato sauce from the can, whatever the water was in it. And I'm going to take a little shot of that hot sauce and put it in with the water. That was quite a bit of a hot sauce. You're going to put that in there. Okay. Push it all around. Start letting it steam. Excellent. The meat got done perfectly. It's got a little grill on the side. Perfect. You want to kind of have a little bit of the carbonization of the meat because that really adds the flavor to your rice dish. It doesn't hurt to carbonize it a little bit. I don't mean burn it. I mean just slightly, caramelize it. Throw your meat wrapper away. You don't want to have that sitting around. I've never made V8 juice with tomato paste, but I can tell you probably could. You've seen how I turn paste into tomato sauce when I'm making tomato juices, or rather tomato bases. Yeah. I'm going to compost that oil. That goes right in the compost heap. Whatever doesn't go in the garbage goes in the compost heap. Quite a bit of garbage when you think about it. When you make a dinner, look at all this is all just scraps. Now, if I was living in a third world nation, that would be another dinner instead of a compost. That would be a soup. I would never, if I was living on next to nothing, I would turn that into a soup. All of that has nutrition. You think I'm kidding? Well, you could make a coleslaw out of it, sure. Secret chef man. Secret chef man. I'm not no. I do everything. I'm the person who cooks, cleans. I do everything. Yeah. Sarah doesn't spend much time in the house. I handle the full property that we have. Yeah. When I was working full time, I just, I focused more on that, making money, and then, stocking it away and making sure I don't have to, work the rest of my life. And I don't have maids, no. But I like doing it. I like cleaning. I like cooking. It makes me feel good. Sarah makes money. I've got plenty of bread. I got lots of stored away. I'm famous on Reddit. Wow, that's kind of cool. At least somebody's listening. Yeah, so I managed to store enough money to live off the rest of my life, which is nice. But as you can see, I don't spend a lot of money. I spend very little. You see how I cook. You see how I stretch things out. You can do this and still live comfortably. And if you plan things out this way, you'll see how much you're going to need the rest of your life, even if the cost of things go up, because these kind of things don't go up. Well, pound of beef is $1.99. Where are you going to find that? I had to wait for a sale at Safeway. No bodies. Safeway was having a sale on 75% fat, or 75% lean, they call it. No, I have no way of showing you around anything. I'm trying not to spend a lot, Dave, but I can't help it. No, that's where you have to figure out how to do this. This is not easy. Okay, it's coming along. We got it boiled. Good. You find free ground beef in grocery dumpsters for fufi? Well, that would be a good source. We could actually make a dumpster dish out of the meal, call it kofifi, and make it out of any dumpster food that you find. Just in honor of Donald Trump, who's never ever imagined living on less than filet mignon and lobster. Just to call it the kofifi, dumpster dining. Barge you out the way? What do you mean, barge me out the way? I'm just thinking kofifi would be a good dumpster dish. Yeah, something you could make out of the dumpster. There's a couple of restaurants starting up out of dumpster food. There's one in San Francisco. I think Berkeley has one. I think there's another one in Boston. There's a guy who takes secondary used like food that's like blemished and really makes a living out of it. It's called the Pantry, I think. Nature's Pantry or something. I don't know. He's out in Boston. He's the former CEO of Trader Joe's. He's started a new way of our daily pantry or our daily bread or something. I don't know. But there's a lot of food that's wasted in America. You see spots on these corn chips. Yeah, you don't want to eat anything with spots on it. I've never dumpster dived. I picked up 40 pounds of jalapenos in a box outside of a dumpster. I drove by one day and I said, Sarah, they're throwing away 40 pounds of jalapenos. I can't let that happen. So I got I got rubber gloves on and I cored them all. I pulled all the seeds out of the jalapenos and I put all the jalapenos rinsed off in a big container. And put vinegar in it and let it set for 6 months. Red wine vinegar or any kind of vinegar, rice vinegar, even standard vinegar. And you'll be amazed. And then you cook it after 6 months of it sitting. You cook it for about 5 or 6 hours with tomato sauce. You can make your own hot sauce. And I made my own kofifi hot sauce. It was great, yeah. I stopped eating jalapenos. I found that they cause diarrhea. Okay. Kofifi for the win. Okay, so we're getting ready to lift the steam fry on this zucchini and give one little shift. Oh yeah, we're getting there. Everything's kind of melting. But it's not quite done, no. I will need to put this all together in a dish, so I'm going to use my standard. Actually, I'm going to go with this one. We've had this since 1975. Yeah, they don't make them like they used to, man. You can microwave in this thing too. So if you put it all in this dish and then put a plate over it, you can throw it in the microwave for dinner and you can feed everybody, a day later if you want it. You're right. Yeah, it will. It actually will. If your meals are about this big. I think it'll be perfect. It's a beautiful bowl. Thank you. Thank you for admiring my bowl. Well, we could smoke a bowl, but I understand we're not allowed to do that here. Yeah. I heard that Miss Scruffy said that you can't have any type of a picture of marijuana on the screen. Is that true? I have not corroborated that yet with Miss Scruffy. Somebody said that's the new rule that you can't have marijuana on the screen. Is that true, MSJS? Really? So Scruffy's setting the tone for blocking freedom of speech until it's federally legal? Really? Okay. Well, you realize that I'm going to just now, I don't really want to give them a reason to kick me off because when I take them to court, I don't want them to say, oh, yeah, this guy's put marijuana on the screen. We had to kick him off. So we're going to just go ahead and put legalized pot across the screen and have it scroll during the show. No pictures, just, just right in your face. What happened to Mark? Oh no, you're kidding. Mark's not feeling like he wants to live anymore? Do tell. What are you saying? Hey, if you want to do a seaweed shooter, we could do that. Mmm. It's pretty good. Seaweed, I rehydrated it from those little pieces. It's good. It's wakame. Yeah. That's good. If you want to put it in your dinner, you could do that. Yeah, you can eat it. You don't need to cook it. It's got iodine in it. Yeah, you actually like it, huh, Rex? You don't want to do a seaweed shooter? Oh, sorry. No, not the seaweed. This is much better. This was purchased prior to the Fukushima disaster. Oh, my rice is getting done here. I bet we might just make it. It was harvested from the market the day of Fukushima. I said, Sarah, I'm going down. I'm going to get as much of this as I can get. Hello. Uh-oh. You know what'd be good in this? With the cilantro taste? Cumin. I'm going to do some roasted cumin I picked up for 25 cents. Normally these shilling things or these gourmet dish, these things are like $6 normally. I got this for 25 cents. They don't go bad. Herbs don't go bad. But I went out and got these, like 10 of these packages the day that Fukushima happened. And you know how much I paid for these things? $1.50. It's dried seaweed. That's a lot of seaweed, man. Okay. That ricer over there is looking pretty good. See? It's coming up. All the rice is popping up to the top. And this is about ready to turn off. I'm going to turn that off right there. See it? Turn it right off. This Parmesan right here, I'm going to add to the beef. I'm going to put that right on top of the zucchini as it's cooking. Yeah, I'm going to add that right at the end of the cooking cycle, so it actually merges with the rice. And the flavor is, I feel like Flavo Flav here. Well, a lot of these drugs are not tested. If Mark is on some sort of a big pharma medication, he may want to read the side effects. They pass their clinical trials on these things, and they have them in circulation. But you probably know that a lot of them are. We have talked about Prozac being comprised mostly of fluoride. You could be a sailor. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm Kappa. What? Fusion cooking with Dave, yeah. Ooh, confifi could be a fusion dish of cod and dumpster food or something. I'm glad you're not getting an appetite looking at my cooking, because it's important to know that I wish I was making baked beans. What I'm making is a fusion dish. So Wellbutrin is worse for depression? Really? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I can't recommend or say that something is good or bad. Well, thank you for telling me about your stool. You may want to tighten it up a little bit. a wrench would do. If your stool's a little loose, you may want to get under it and tighten up. Some of those screws get loose when you're sitting on your stool. Is it expensive? Yeah, well, he has plenty of money now since he's, censoring me and making money from some side operation. I guess he's upset that he has to do this. That if he doesn't, people are going to, make him a deal he's not going to refuse. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe he's forced into this. He's like forced to receive checks of money. You never know. I kind of think he's like a pathetic character in a way because, he's chosen to censor people in a country that should be free. And he's prevented my campaign from blossoming in 2016. I mean, he's single-handedly responsible for that. Yeah, he called me on the phone and lied to me straight up, said he wasn't censoring me. I said, yeah, right, sure. I have not opened this yet, so it's got a seal on the side. I have to open the cumin. Cumin is not something you want to put in at the beginning of a dish. It's considered the poor man's saffron. It's known as the poor man's saffron, cumin, C-U-M-I-N. This is being kind of a bad plastic wrapper. Bad plastic wrapper. Oh man, that is so good. Now they say that cumin helps your mind. If your grandpa's got some Alzheimer's issues, they say cumin will help his memory issues. I don't know. That's what they say. So good. It is such a great flavor. I know it's going to go well with the cilantro and the oregano and the chives. I'm not Gilligan. Okay, so those zucchinis are done. When you lift the cover on this thing, you're going to... Whoa, what's going on here? Yeah, hang on. Oh, I'm sorry. We don't take calls during our show, our cooking show. Yeah, sorry. Don't call here again. Not right now. And we haven't taken a call from you ever since you insinuated that I was not an alpha male. Yeah. You don't stand here with an alpha omega male and tell him he's not an alpha male. That's just the wrong thing to do, man. Now you're pissing me off. Yeah. All right, so the rice is almost done. Wow. I wish it could hurry up. I'm going to take that the Parmesan, and I'm going to put it on top of the zucchini. I'm going to grab a lot of this stuff. It's flaky. See it? I'm just going to throw it right on top. Let it melt into the dish. And if there's any water in that dish, it'll absorb in the Parmesan. Now that does have salt, and that's a good thing. And the hot sauce had salt, the peri-peri sauce. And you're wondering what I'm going to do with this stuff. Well, this is going to go on the rice when the whole thing is mixed up. When I mix this whole thing up, I'm going to put a little bit of the cumin on there and let it set. Okay. I think anyone can take one look at you and tell you're an alpha. Well, thank you very much. I can't tell you how important that is to me. My entire identity is wrapped up into being an alpha. And for somebody to say, hey, use sea salt, I got one better. I got Himalayan sea salt. You think I should open this? They say it's got so many nutritious minerals that your body needs to be an alpha male. Yeah, my pecs say, well, don't call them man boobs, man. I work hard on my pecs. Yeah, I've got a big chest. Yeah, almost like Harambe. I look more like a silverback. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, you think I should use it? I don't know. I think I got enough salt in the dish right now with a hot sauce. But if you really want more salt, definitely sea salt. And specifically kosher sea salt, especially if you're Jewish. Now, I'm not Jewish. But I can tell you, if you are, welcome to the show. Come on in. You can see our show coming up at the top of the hour in the other room. We're extending our show a little bit because the rice takes a little longer. Okay? I don't know. Some rabbi looked at it and said, "Oh, this is the sea salt. It's good, the kosher sea salt." I don't know. I'm not a rabbi. I like Jews. Thanks, Jews. You've been great in my life. A lot of my best friends in the past have been Jewish, but they moved away because they were seeking a cheaper place to live. So I know a very nice Jewish man who moved to Mexico because he loved being on the ocean, and the cost of living down there is so low, it's ridiculous. Do not eat ramen noodles unless you want to get fluoride. Hey, Kathy Griffin doing a press conference is like watching an animal getting dressed, pulling their guts out. And, the whole thing is insane. Why would she even think that we're going to give her any airtime? Who cares? The woman did the unthinkable. Now, did Donald Trump put her up to this? That's my question, because it does seem kind of scammy the way Barron said, "I saw it with my daddy, and daddy, I know, was my daddy okay? My daddy bleeding." I mean, come on. The whole thing was canned. And Kathy's probably, making money on this whole thing. He wanted people to feel sorry for him because people were upset that he was involved with the Russians and this whole thing. Of course, Jim Carrey supports Kathy because he's an Illuminati puppet just like she is. No. This is not the most bizarre thing that Trump has done. And I'll say it to you again. In 1989, 3 of his top casino supervisors were all going to go in a helicopter. They were going to be testifying in a court case, bankruptcy court, where he lost a lot of money. Well, all 3 of those men and 2 pilots died, crashed. He was going to be on that empty seat, Donald was. But he says, "No, I'm going to take my own personal helicopter. You guys see you later." Well, after what happened occurred, the press came up to him and said, "Hey, Donald, what do you have to say?" And his first thing he said was, "This is great press." In fact, that's all he said. This is great press. That was right when the media was looking at the Studio 54 visitor who likes to watch sex acts. The cameras were on him, and he says, "This is great press." It's just unbelievable. That alone makes you wonder, did he do this for great press? No, it's not slander. It's true. Everything I said was true. You can look at the newspapers. Check 1989 New York Times, and you'll read stories about this. He didn't say, "I'm so sorry for their loss. They were such good friends." He said, "This is great press." And I'm not kidding. So don't put it past him to contact Kathy Griffin and have a bloody picture of his face on the screen so you feel sorry for him. Don't put it past him. He's definitely capable. If he's capable of cavorting and collaborating and in cahoots with the Russians, he's capable of anything. Don't kid yourself. We got a big problem right now. He may even have sex tapes on him, on file, being blackmailed against him right now, and we may not even know it. Those red lights flickering in the White House the other day may be Morse code to the Russian embassy. We don't know what the hell's going on. What's even worse, Sense8 has been canceled. Wow, bummer. Well, the ending was really good. I'm kind of bummed out, though. Hey, thank you. This is cooking up politics, really. Do you think he's more disturbed with his mom's naked? What? I'm not talking about Obama, dude. Donald Trump invented a near-death experience. Really? Well, this must have been an interview he did later. All right, I'll look at that later. Mother Jones. Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, Kushner tried to actually get a way to contact the Russians out of the Russian embassy. The intercept from our intelligence department said that Kushner tried to reach out to Kislyak, the ambassador to Russia, to get him to authorize the use of Russian telecommunications equipment at the Russian embassy to communicate with Putin. And that's absolute espionage. And he didn't have approval from Obama to do any of this. So Kushner committed espionage. This is a fact. I'm not making this up. There was no reason for him to have a back channel through the Russian embassy. It's insane. Utterly insane. The fact that he even attempted this, and we know for a fact because we intercepted his message, Kislyak's message to the Russian government. He contacted home and he said, this is what he wants to speak to. Yeah, it's just insane. And Obama was not involved in this, and this is a gross violation of the Logan Act. Gross violation. Not to mention an act of espionage and possibly treason. I'm not a BBC broadcaster because I'm too good. They can't afford to pay me. No, this is not a openly advocating LGBT channel. We acknowledge homosexuality. If you guys want to be homosexual, that's fine. You ladies, you guys, whatever. We just don't encourage it. We're not trying to give you special privileges. Okay. So what happens when the rice gets all the way to the top is it starts to puff out, and all the sauce kind of melts around it, and the rice absorbs all the water, so it reaches almost the top. There's about an inch or a little less than an inch right there at the top of that ricer. That's about how much you need. All right, I'm getting ready to bring everything together. Melding the ingredients. I'm going to remove your name from the show. If you were cooking in the winter, this would be Elon Musk has quit Donald Trump. Your departing presidential counsel's climate change is real. Elon Musk says leaving Paris is not good for America or the world. Okay. Well, tonight we're going to talk about my ideas, which I would never have authorized the climate. This is another area where Donald Trump follows me. I was never in favor of climate change legislation. I believe that the best solution is going to come from a person who solves the problems. And Elon Musk would rather just smoke a pipe of crack pipe. He said he uses crack to stay awake. So he can depart the presidential council. I don't have a problem with Donald not signing the Paris Accord. I think it was a good move. And it is definitely I've been saying it from the beginning. We need to get our country on the right track, not let the UN in and telling us what to do. So I'm actually pleased that Donald didn't sign the Paris Accord. And we'll talk about how we're going to innovate and fix the environment, which Donald is not going to talk about because he has no clue as to what he's doing. All right. Oh, it's done. Good. So once it reaches warm on the top, on the front, it pops to warm right here. We turn it off. Okay, that camera is still up. Okay, good. It's just not picking up very well. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, we're going to set this all up now. I'm going to make sure I have a mitten. You're going to have mittens when you handle this thing. It's very dangerous. Billionaires get pure organic crack? Really? Well, whatever. I mean, if a guy smokes crack, you can't understand what he's saying, really. Okay, are you ready to watch this? Going down. Oh, apparently my camera's out. Okay. We lost the camera, so you can watch it from a distance. We've had problems with this camera before. Okay, so I'm going to be putting the contents of the ricer in the base of the bowl. Very hot. I'm going to take a spatula and I'm going to put it in there like this. Now the carrots will come out at the bottom and it's going to sit on top. The carrots will. Beautiful. Okay. That nice? Get every last bit of rice you can. Because this may be your last meal. Judging by the way the kofifi's going. Now that tomato sauce is perfect. Now the carrots are just al dente. I'm going to take the entire meat dish and put that on top with the zucchini. Nice. Okay. Gingerly place the spatula and just kind of nest it, just kind of jag it like this. Okay? And you're done. You're done. You can top this entire dish up with cumin. And what we'll take is a little bit of the roasted cumin. I'll just top it off. No more than a half of a teaspoon, that's for sure. And just kind of go like that. It's a very strong herb, so it's not, I'm gonna drop this down to 6 meals. And the official will be 6 meals because it looks so good that I don't think anybody could just have a small helping. All right? So I'm going to go $4 for 6 meals. Thank you. Hey, thank you very much. Let me get a top for that. You can just put it right on top. I'm actually going to put some more Parmesan on top because it has heat. It's going to set. Got to flake it right on top of there. And then cover it up. And it'll be a really good meal for you and your family. Hey, thank you for that episode. I'm going to be jumping out now and to do the show. I'll be right in there in about 45, 50 seconds. You can refresh. Thanks for watching this particular show. It'll be uploaded tonight at 2 in the morning on youtube.com/David John Sponheim, Jon. I'll see you in a bit, guys. Thank you.